Welcome, Black Hollywood Live fans. On today's episode of Fit Club, we talk the benefits of alkaline water, exercising your age, and more with BET's Grand Hustle star, Cierra Brooks. Stay tuned.
You're tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Fit Club.
Gotta say,
What up,
She
Fit
can
Club?
get a
We
taste.
are back with another special
She can get a
episode
taste.
with our special guest, Miss Cierra Brooks.
Hey guys.
Thank you so much for joining us. We
No,
appreciate
thank you.
this. Again, guys, my name is Shaka Smith, joined by my lovely co-host.
What's up? Song's dedicated to people who eat fried chicken all the time.
We do have a story.
You'll figure it out. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad.
And Miss Cierra Brooks, where can they find you online?
You can find me at official Cierra Brooks. That's CIERRABROOKS.
Well, we got so much to talk about, some great stories here, and of course we got to catch up with you and Grand Hustle life and what you're working on now, so we got a lot to talk about. But we're going to start with alkaline water. So,
Yeah.
you know, especially out in LA, we're all trained, alkaline water is amazing, it's great, it's wonderful, but are these claims true? And it's one of the things I didn't even think about if it's true or not, because I've just accepted it as
Right.
truth.
Correct, right.
So, for those of you out there who are unaware, basically, alkaline water is anything that's more basic than your tap water. Tap water comes in at about a pH around that's neutral around 7. Alkaline water is going to be greater than that, 8, 9, to more basic water. And so, basically, the thinking is it reduces inflammation in the body. It can lead to kind of autoimmune diseases or help you deal with autoimmune diseases. And they're saying actually that basically what we eat does not affect our pH that much. Our blood's pH is relatively neutral. It's most of the stuff that we eat, the digestive system kind of handles that
Right.
and takes care of balancing the pH. So
Right.
it may not be the sort of like silver bullet that a lot of people think it is.
Right.
And so for you, how do you deal with these sort of, you know, we always have the silver bullet. That's
Yeah.
going to be that next magic pill. That's going to be the next thing.
Right.
And you probably get access to that stuff when it first comes out. How do you deal with that?
Research, because like you said, you know, you'll hear so many people say it, and you know, if you keep hearing, oh, it's good, and then, you know, like you said, we'll just believe it.
Yeah.
You got to do your research, and like you need at least 5 different opinions on Google, because everybody all got their own opinions, and you know, you just got to make sure you do the proper research. So I agree with that, but in the same sense as you stated, our body does fight off naturally.
Yeah.
And that goes with, like, you know, medicines and stuff like that. Like, I don't like taking medicines for headaches. So, you know, if they're trying to say this is the silver bullet for your pH balance and all that, it's like, not really, but I just say do the research. Do
Yeah.
the research for sure.
And do you have like a water thing that you stand by? I know TK says like drink a gallon of water a
Yeah,
day.
I'm a water lady.
Yeah.
It's LA.
You have a water lady.
I have a water lady that I go to. And when I miss a day, she's like, "Are you good?" I'm like, "All right, now this relationship's got a little bit too intimate." But yeah.
I would say for myself, yeah, because I don't do tap, no offense, but if
Yeah.
you can, you know, get a filter,
Yeah.
like for cost efficient. Everybody can't drink Fiji
Yeah.
every day. Like, so I would say get a filter, but I feel like filtered water. Don't
Yeah.
drink the tap.
Yeah.
You know,
Avoid
In
tap.
LA, some places,
yeah.
in other states, it's a little bit different. Well, you know, in
Correct.
Michigan too, don't do that.
Yeah.
In some places it's just based off. You research your water, because you
Correct.
can't. Some places you
Right.
can drink from the tap.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I honestly think with a lot of these fads, it's like some of them are just like so basic. Essentially, even if you don't want to buy the alkaline water, like you should just be drinking water in order to help your body do everything
Exactly.
it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That
Right.
makes the most amount of sense. But shout out to my water lady.
Yeah.
Divine
Did you get your
H2O.
water today?
I sure did. Sure enough.
Sure enough.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Our next story involves exercising throughout like aging, and kind of what is the best exercise for you at different ages. Of course, when you're childhood, adolescents are saying, you know, you want to be active.
Yeah.
It really helps with your sleep patterns, your confidence, healthy bones. So team sports are really great for kids.
Correct.
If you can't get them on a team sport, find maybe an individual sport, swimming, tennis. So that's what you really want to stress with them, but activity. For 20s, when you get to your 20s, again, it's all about being cardio, getting your cardio in, doing your strength training, and recognizing that what you're doing in your 20s is laying the foundation for your muscle
Correct.
retention in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, because by the time you hit 30s, that's when your body naturally wants to start losing everything.
Yeah.
So they say when you're in your 30s, that's when you really focus on the cardio and the strength training. Make sure you're not sedentary. You probably, by this time, have a job where you sit down, so you want to make sure you're getting up often,
Right.
and just really making sure you're moving and diversify. yoga, Pilates.
And don't forget those bad kids that everybody has too. They keep everybody up.
Right?
Yeah.
All you want to do is sit down, and you don't want to do nothing out of them.
Exactly right. Tying out.
And it's really much of the same for your 40s, 50s, and 60s, with your 70s being super important because they find that's when things can go south real quick. So you really want to make sure you have a consistent activity in your 70s. Just for you, and you're still very, very young, but as you've aged throughout the industry.
I'll take that. Yeah.
That slip there.
Very, very.
Well, we're talking about 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. You know, come on. Talking about a lifespan. But yeah, have you noticed changes, and how have you dealt with the changes with remaining fit?
Well, oh man, like you guys stated, it's LA, and when I first moved here, it was like fitness this, organic that, like, so I was like, okay, I gotta get on it. Like, I've always been into health and fitness, but when I moved out here, literally, I was going to the gym and running every day.
Sounds LA.
Yeah, every day. Yeah. Until one day I woke up and I couldn't bend my knee at all. So I will say that, okay, so I went to the emergency room, all that crap.
God.
Like, what they told me was my patella never fused together when I was younger. But
damn.
they said, well, when I was born, clearly. And they was like, you know, you've been living with it all your life now. But, you know, you're older and you may have overworked it. So now I got to wear a knee brace.
So you really
when I work out.
Damn.
So I went from, you know, playing field hockey in high school, running a mile every day, knee brace free, to now, like, you know. So as you stated, you know, as you get older, it's certain, you know, changes and adjustments that you got to make for your body, but you can't overwork your body. And you know, when I moved out here, I was like, gotta be fit, gotta stay fit. It's like, you know, but know your body's limit. And I will say that, and now I know, because I'm not doing that every day no more.
Was that
I think that's like the normal, like, transparent routine. Like, you do Runyon, you might do Culver City stairs, you might do the Santa Monica stairs, you do the beach, handle the beach. It's just,
especially if you have that hustler personality, because you're like, I can control that, and that's going to put me in the right
You
spots
should
and
see,
areas.
I be like, I got this, and then the next day I'm like, I don't got this. I thought I had it.
Was that depressing or hard to have to deal with that injury?
Yes, because like even me transitioning back into the gym, like I was so scared, and I'm still kind of scared. Like I'll take days off, and it's just, and then I'll feel it when I don't wear my knee brace. It's like, gotta get the knee brace. Like, so I do say that did kind of discourage me a little bit when it came back to working out. So that was kind of hard. I'm like, what is this? I'm not even 30 yet. I gotta wear a knee brace. Like, what's going
happening?
on here?
it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
So how do you motivate yourself now just to keep going back into the gym?
Cause I'm like, I look at old pictures and I'm like, look at those abs. Look what I used to look
Man,
like.
those old pictures
like,
we have you.
What? You know how your phone be like 1 year ago, and you be like, dang it.
I have that mug on my screensaver, and I was about to show my friend. He's like, "Yeah, I already saw that. Like, why you? You already know. Like, this is unnecessary." But the pictures do help. But you also realize that because you get
can do
older,
it.
you're never gonna be. I shouldn't say never, but you being the same weight you were when you were 19, or like as far as looking wise, you might not achieve that. The whole goal is to be healthy in order for you to maintain, you know, your life as you keep going and not be, you know, be able to bend over and chase kids and do all that stuff.
Right.
So that's the goal. But to look like you were 19, I mean, you might have to leave that.
But there is that industry pressure too. I think that you know, there's the regular pressure of just life, but then when you're in this industry, there's also the pressure to maintain that 19.
And then the LA pressure, because it's industry pressure. Then it's living in LA with the stuff.
The thing is too, when you look at somebody like a Taraji P. Henson and all this other stuff, when they show those pictures, it's not the fact that, I mean, she looks great, but if you look at 10 years ago or 20 years ago, the styles are different, so you're gonna look older anyway. And then you have the makeup, and then remember Oprah was talking about the lighting, so now we have black people lighting, so we all look better now. So it's just like, so you have to, like, I think people have to realize that it's just, you know, it's just phases, like, because you can look great, but you're inside, you have heart issues. It's just not, you know, I agree. Like, I definitely feel the pressures. I'm that person that, like, I work out every day. The people that I go to the gym with, like, they're in the industry. So I see it. But you have to realize, like, man, like, I just want to be able to, like, like, live life and be healthy and, you know, be able to walk.
No pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, one of the things I think is so important in the industry is always being ready, especially if you kind of put out there that you're someone that's into fitness, whatever, and what's ready. But I did catch a clip on Grand Hustle where you had to step in to be a video vixen. So it's like, no, but like, what's that? That's a mental pressure of, am I ready? And you were ready, but you had to be, you know?
Yeah, because thank God I was, so during that time I was actually in the gym.
She's on the show. She's like,
during the show, I was like, I got in the house, I was like, dang, I asked production, I was like, y'all don't have no gym in here? Like, so this huge mansion, and y'all don't have no type of weights, like, can I get something?
Do that prison workout.
Yeah. But like you said, like that, and I think it's that because you just never know, like, what situations you're gonna get thrown into. Like, I was in a whole bikini, like, thank God I was ready, like you said, because I would be like, we gotta lose this challenge, y'all. I'm sorry.
It's over, and so I think that's important, but it's also pressure. So it's great that you're like balancing that.
Yeah.
So our next story is a sad one. So it turns out that according to the study, that fried chicken actually can lead to one serving a day can lead to a 30% higher risk of death. If you're having fried fish, it could be 7% higher risk of death. And they did it with 107,000 women between 50 and 79. This actually, they looked at postmenopausal women between 50 and 79, 40 clinics across the United States. And they're saying a lot of it has to do with kind of the way we prepare our fried food. It might not be the same in different countries.
Right.
And then the portions that we give the fried foods in.
Steroid chicken?
So, and we're talking about type 2 diabetes. We're talking about heart disease. We're talking about heart attacks. You know, even fried potatoes, you can double the risk of early death, according to one 2017 study. So, you know, how do you balance that? You know, do you cut out fried foods? You know, how do you make that distinction?
Well, first I have to just say shout out to my dad because I was living in New York for some time and I started, I don't know, New York as well. Like it's that's where my health and like fitness and all that stuff, that's when I actually started being conscious about what I eat. And I guess because I was walking and I'm like, okay, I'm healthy.
They be forcing you to walk in New York.
like now I can, you know, really get on my health tip. But when I had moved back home, my dad was on 6 different blood pressure medications. Oh, wow. So I started cooking. So I was like, you know, I've been in New York, I've been cooking. So I started cooking and he's on none. Wow. So he went from eating chicken and like 2-liter sodas, like every day, like all of that. And then I was like, no, we got to cut this. Like you're getting older. Like you're older now. Like you can't eat how you did when you were my age. So let's see. Let me just try it out. He's like, all right, I'll try it out. He's like, the food isn't really that bad because I substitute. I use like vegan mayonnaise and like things like that. So that's what made me actually start focusing in and saying, you know what, I'm from Baltimore. I love chicken boxes, but you gotta cut all of that out because he was like a walking testimony with that. So just seeing that,
I feel like we get it from all sides because when I see people that don't eat healthy, it's not just one thing. It's like they're having fried chicken, they're having soda, they're having the cookie because we're inundated by so many kind of forces that don't let us make a balanced choice.
Yeah,
right.
I think it also like compounds too because like what I realized as well as that. Because so long story short, I came off a 21-day cleanse, a fast.
Oh, really?
And
Which one did you do?
I did the master cleanse, but I also did like incorporating like meditation and all this other stuff.
Okay, nice.
And I got in touch with my body to the point where like I realized that, you know, coming to that, you know, that monthly woman zone, that I was like, I noticed a pattern that I didn't notice before. And I was actually able to figure it out this month and then actually change my food pattern in order to accommodate for that.
Right.
And if you're eating those type of foods or even like something close to it, everything is masking, so you can't get to the initial problem.
Exactly.
So if you have fried chicken, like you can't have fried chicken without fries, and you have fried chicken without soda, so you like compound it. Yeah. So I'd always suggest like not necessarily giving it up if you don't want to give it up, but treat it as a luxury.
Yes.
Versus something that you have every day because that's the number one killer of black folks.
Yeah. It is because it's so many like carryouts and you know stuff like that.
And then the chicken, like the chicken Tuesdays where you get for like $2.
Exactly, right? Like 2 pieces, $2 at Popeyes, like 2 pieces of biscuits, $2, and it's like, shucks, I get that for under $5.
That's what got me off of fast food. It started getting so cheap. It got too
it's
cheap. I was like, I don't trust it now. How is that cheap?
Yeah, but then you can afford it, right? So now if you have you know a parent with kids, it's just like okay. you can buy 2 or 3 boxes for the kids. Now you just cut out 30 minutes of your time, and you can like, you know, put it. So I get it, but it's like, you
they
have
even
to
have
resist it.
the EBT at fast food.
Oh, they have the EBT
man.
everywhere,
That
which is
convenient
terrible.
now. Like,
Yeah.
it's that,
it's
it's
like
crazy.
good because you have access, but not
Yeah,
good because
but
you have
that's-
the wrong
Yeah.
kind of access.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
So yeah, we gotta do some work on that. But moving on to the next story is about the benefits of outdoor exercise and the precautions of outdoor exercise.
Yeah.
It's almost counterintuitive because it's winter time, but it can actually be very good for you because you'll burn more calories in the winter. Your brown fat burning goes up by 45%, including your metabolism goes up as well. And studies have actually shown that people get more feelings of pleasure in this sort of climate than when they're indoors on a treadmill. And so it's got all these great benefits. Of course, you want to make sure that you're drinking, though, because you can feel as if you don't need to drink because it's cold outside.
Right.
But you're still getting
Yeah.
dehydrated.
Right.
Want to make sure you're using sunblock, even though it's gray skies. You might still,
I don't
you
know
know.
about that one. I don't know about that one.
Hey, look,
when it's sunny, it's like 80 degrees. Like I'll give you that. But when it's like snowing outside,
I double down on this natural protection. I'm like, got the natural protection. I want to double down. And they say to dress right, especially if you're older, because your body is going to have trouble regulating your temperature as you working out, but you're in the cold. So what they do recommend is doing a warm up before heading out. And they say 10 jumping jacks, 10 squats, just getting your body active before you go out into the cold.
Right.
Do you work outside a lot? I know you have the Famously Fit app, and I've seen you guys doing a lot of hiking as well.
Yes.
So what's your kind of philosophy about working outdoors versus inside?
So again, shout out to LA. I didn't. Okay, as I stated, I'm from Baltimore, so I never really worked out outdoors.
Could be a dangerous.
So that's really dangerous. No, I love my city. I'm just kidding. But moving, like out here, the air is different and everything. And shout out to my friend RJ Walker. He started a running hiking group. Nice. And every Wednesday, 7 a.m.,
oh, wow.
Running, but then it started switching to the Culver City Stairs, Fryman, Wisdom Tree, and all that stuff. So that's what got me like working out outside. I will say when I first did running, going down, like trying to run down.
Yeah.
I was
You
like,
one of those people?
like,
Oh, no.
I was really scared at
Yeah.
first because I'm not like really scared of any like heights, all that crazy stuff. I'm not scared of that, but like my ankle, my knee,
Yeah,
like I kept
yeah.
thinking about my knee.
pounding
Yeah.
on the cement. It's just, and then I see people with like improper shoes, and I'm just looking at them like,
Right.
Yeah, I wore the 5-finger shoes the first time I went, and that was a
Yeah.
mistake because you have no grip, and I
yeah,
almost slid down.
it's just like just walk down quickly. Like the running is probably not the best thing.
Yeah, it's not the best thing at all. But that, yeah. So I don't know. I do that here and there.
So do
And
you,
then what we just did, Tyra and I, what we just did was boxing on a boat.
oh,
That was cool.
okay.
Wait, boxing
Okay,
on a boat?
Yeah, that was
Let's just
really
make it
cool.
cooler.
Yeah.
Boxing
It
on a
was
boat.
intense. Like it was moving. Like
What kind of boat? Like what?
like a little yacht
So were you
thing.
on a like? Was
We
it a
were
group
on
of
the-
you guys on the boat?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a group of us on a boat, but we were around a circle, and one on one, we would go in and just do like the jab.
Wait, was it just cool because it was on the boat, or was the boat part of the workout?
Well, it's hard. You ever
Yeah.
you ever worked out on a moving
No.
boat before? Try it, and then you let me know how life is. Like that was
So
insane.
it was part of the intensity.
Yes, it was. It was really insane. But that was really fun. That was
Yeah.
a good one. And that it's something you're like, what? This boat? Like you're not thinking you go on a boat, you chilling, you relaxing, got your lemonade in the shade. You're not really thinking about working out, but that was good. That was a good one.
LA is just a really great spot to
It
do
is.
a lot of, like, there's so much stuff. Like you can do yoga on those little paddleboard things. Like if you don't want to do the whole LA fitness thing, you can do different things all over the city. So that's great. And then also working out in the cold weather is, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like mind over matter. And if you can do it, like you're more gangster than the
Right. And your Rocky mode.
the bitch ass people that are like, it's like, I got this. So,
Like,
but don't
look at
run
her.
too long, because I've
Yeah.
experienced that too. But like just getting a great like 20-minute run,
Yeah.
I think it's way better than like doing it on the treadmill inside.
Yeah.
Because then you're on top of that, you are burning more because your body has to adjust for all those,
Yeah.
the temperature.
Yeah, especially if
Right,
you're getting
right.
bored with being inside the gym
Yeah.
I
too.
get bored
yeah.
sometimes.
Try not to
like-
slip on black
Yeah.
ice too.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing.
Wait, what?
You don't know what black ice is?
Oh,
Yeah.
I heard something different.
I think I heard what you
I
heard.
was like,
I don't know what y'all heard, but I said black ice.
heard what you heard.
It's like, how did that?
Then we gonna flip on.
But I want want to talk a little bit more about Famously Fit.
Yes.
So this is coming. Is it on Prime now?
No, it's coming. It's coming pretty soon next month. Look for it, February.
And
Next
so,
month is like this week.
Yeah, I know, right?
It is.
And so you're doing interviews with different personalities and talking about fitness.
Correct. Yeah. So basically, as you stated, I'm doing interviews. I'm talking about health, fitness, well-being, like just everything. I'm talking with actors, TV personalities, chefs, just from different ranges, all the people in the industry, and just we're talking about health, fitness, and how it's important and how they incorporate it in their busy schedules.
Yeah. And have you discovered anything that surprised you?
You gotta wait and see, because I just had something in my head. I'm like, oh,
No,
that's too good. That's too good. That's too good. Yes. But
So what should we be looking out for then?
looking out for
Yeah.
just vital information,
Yeah.
like, just for Black people in general, because we don't really work out. Like,
Yeah.
we don't take it
We're
really that
just a
serious.
minority.
Yeah, and it's just like you stated, if somebody thinks they're skinny, it's like, oh, I'm healthy.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily true, because you could be super unhealthy, but super skinny.
Yeah,
So-
I feel like we're like a generation behind. Like my mom would
Yeah.
always like say like, oh, like I rode a bike in Guyana. I'm like, that's not
that's not working out. Like,
that's not it. But then for
Right.
me, she had me in everything, and it was just kind of like that was just
Yeah.
like the natural progression. And for me, like when I have my kids, like that's just an automatic
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
But I think for a lot of people that I know, even like my age, it's just like they not.
Yeah.
Into
They look at me crazy, like you. So
Right.
you work
Yeah.
out every day, like,
right.
And you're going to these classes, and some people don't even like the idea of going to a class because
Yeah.
it feels like they're being like kind of subjugated to.
Yeah.
And so getting over that, especially with our older people in our community. My mom's the same way, just trying to get her fit every day and saying like,
Yeah,
this is an
mine too.
everyday thing.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
a once every couple months you did one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's
Right.
also beneficial too for people who are older and that they might not be like, not have a lot of friends or not necessarily in touch with their family. Doing groups like that, even down to like my water lady who like knows like you haven't like what's like
Drink
and say
Yeah.
there's people are
Accountability.
checking on you, and that's nice to like form that thing. Like there's this 70-year-old lady who does yoga, and she like not necessarily disappeared, but she just didn't come to class for like a week and a half. Like there was like 5 people, including the teacher, that was like, where is she, because she's 70,
Right.
So
Right. Right. Yeah, for one.
yeah.
Right?
So it's like from that point on, she gave everybody the number. So it's like if you're worried, like you can,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like that's accountability, and then also great networking.
Yeah.
If they're in the industry,
right.
no matter what capacity, if you're in sales or whatever, like this is the best because now everybody's on the same page, and then you just slide in. By the way,
Yeah.
Right.
so
Such and such,
yeah.
right.
So business wise, it's also a good move too.
Yeah.
And I want to know kind of how has your fitness and your discipline helped with that sort of hustle mentality, helped to kind of get you on the show and you go further, with Famously Fit. How
Yeah.
did your discipline help with that?
Man, it's just in my head. I don't know. It's something that just clicks, and it's like once I make a commitment, I just do any and everything to make sure, for one, it gets completed, but to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it right, which is why I feel like everything that I do, even like throughout the show, all the challenges, I'm like, it wasn't necessarily about winning the $100,000. It was how like far can I go, and how can I even like surprise myself and come out on the top. So that show showed me a lot. I'm like, wow, I'm surprising myself here, like, because you think until it's deadlines, and you're under pressure, and you got to do this and you got to do that, and then it's T.I. on top
Yeah.
of that, like.
It's
I'm
nationally
like,
broadcast.
Yeah, I just saw him the other day, and my heart still like I still feel like I'm in elimination. Like it's like it's crazy. So for that, it's like a vet in the industry as well. It's like, okay, because if I mess up, he's gonna speak on it. He's gonna be like, hey, like she's not a good.
And people will take his word.
And people will take his word.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I just got to do things to the best of my ability, because you just never know who's really watching.
But that's where, like, because you did sports in high school.
Yeah.
That's where sports comes into play. I mean, I know not every kid is, meant for that or whatever, but
Right.
it's just like sports plays such a huge role for
Yes.
later in life as far as like organization skills, determination, all these things, even if you want to like run your own business or whatever.
Multitasking
Like,
even,
I
yeah.
see so many people that that are like tap into that and make it work.
Right.
And then I see people who didn't do sports, and it's just like
it shows.
it's like some people get it, some people don't. But most people who I know who've done sports is like they set their mind to something and they get it done. So that's why it just plays a huge role whether you're like scholarship or not.
Right.
As far as developing personality.
I got a scholarship for field hockey.
Oh,
actually,
wow.
yeah. But
One
I
of the two
wanted to
people
go
in America.
Well, I was about to say I wanted to go to an HBCU, and unfortunately, I love Morgan State, but y'all need to get field hockey, okay?
I felt that way about Spelman too. I wanted to go to their track, and they
yeah.
only have like a track club, and I was like,
Really?
yeah, we ain't.
Really?
I would have.
Yeah, they
Wow.
have like a track. They might have one now, but when I was looking,
Yeah.
it's like they only have a track club. It's like,
What
we
is
need
that? Like book club?
Yeah,
Like, just to
it's
meet
not.
and-
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it's
talk
not
about.
club
Yeah, it's not
sports.
like. Yeah, it's like it's more like semi.
Amongst
competitive.
yourselves.
Yeah, so it's like we're not going there.
Not going there.
But speaking of being fit mentally and physically, because you'd been contacted about the show like years before you actually were on the show,
Yeah,
right?
2016.
Yeah.
Actually, and that was a roller coaster within itself. Like that was a hustle there because I was contacted, and then I hadn't heard anything until 2017. And when I got the call back, it's like, hey, Cierra, I still didn't know it was T.I. I didn't know anything. I didn't know the show title, any of that. So it's like, hey, Cierra, are you still interested in working with a mogul for the salary of $100,000? So I'm like,
good.
yeah. But at the time, I was submitting to so many auditions.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. I'm thinking it was something from 2017. So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. So they're like, okay, cool. I did the Skype interview. They're like, we love you. We love you. I get a call back. They're like, yeah, sorry. We're not going to go with you.
Wow.
I was like, why contact
After
me
the
a year?
year?
Like, I was so pissed off. I was like, excuse me, I don't understand.
Yeah, I
This
thought-
is Sierra. Do you know who you're on the phone with right now? Like,
I thought we were going through the
like,
motions,
I thought
right?
like, what is this? It's like, oh, I really do apologize. But, if somebody just so happens to, say they don't want to be a part, we'll contact you. I was like, this is crazy. It's like, I never want to do reality TV, but if I did want, it would be this show. This is it here. And then they gave me a call back literally 2 days after that. And I was like, are y'all serious this time?
like,
Because
what?
it's like, no, for real, we need you to come tomorrow.
Okay,
4
I was like,
o'clock.
yeah, if it's
I
not
was like,
tomorrow, I don't believe it.
That's
Yeah.
why I was like, when? It's like tomorrow, 4 p.m. for a month and a half.
What's your like feeling with reality show? Obviously, you did one, but did you feel like because of the setup of it, it wasn't going to be like personal business? They were going to have you out there doing, stereotypical Black people things, or like
Yeah.
what was your? I mean,
No, seriously,
yeah,
because
yeah.
that's like my biggest fear. It's like, wait, what are we? What? No, I'm not.
right.
Yeah.
Well, because I, like I said, I didn't even know it was T.I. But when I got there, I still was in interview mode, and they still had to pick between 60 people. They still had to choose 16 out of 60 when I went to Atlanta. So the questions started making more sense. Like, there's like, if you were to work with the moguls such as Jay-Z, Diddy, or T.I., and then they said they were shooting in Atlanta. So I'm like, okay, I get it. Like, I know who's this. So I'm like, in my mind, before I even got in the house, I'm like, it has to be T.I. or whoever they stated. And these guys are like vets in the game. They're not around nothing crazy. They're not into the ratchet and
Yeah.
all that type of stuff. I was like, they have a good, rapport,
Especially
especially
now.
with,
Yeah.
especially now. So I'm like, well, if it's any of these guys, like, it's good. And then come to find out it's Tia, and I'm like, okay, this is good. But I will say about the Grand Hustle, it was all real time. It was none of that like, oh, can you do that again? Can you do that? It was none of that. It was more so hard ice, which is like, don't talk until we tell you, and then the cameras roll. So it's more so just hold your thought and then.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
she's
So
sitting
you
there
get that-
thinking
yeah.
like, I'm like, I gotta get it out. I gotta get it out.
By the time the camera hits you, you forget. Right?
Yeah. Picture doing a challenge and then waiting the next day. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get it out, y'all. I gotta get it out. But I will say the Grand Hustle, shout out to BT, 51 Minds, all those people are part of the production, because that was a really good show.
Yeah.
So I'll do reality TV if it's something like that.
That's amazing. And I want to know what's next. Where can we expect to see you again soon?
Soon. Well, coming out with the Famously Fit, of
Yeah.
course, on Amazon Prime pretty soon, and just more stuff. Like, that's all I can say. That's it. Just more stuff.
Yeah, and
That's it.
can we expect some more fitness stuff?
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
Definitely so. You know, my knee is better now. So got my knee brace going on. But no, definitely more fitness. I don't know. On Instagram, I do a lot with like showing different like substitutes with cooking. Like I made crab cakes and I substitute for vegan. I use vegan mayonnaise instead of regular mayonnaise. So I do little stuff like that on Instagram. People are like, "Oh, like, give me the recipe." Da, 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 da. So I'm like, maybe I might start like a vegan cookbook ish or something.
So you're
like that.
vegan yourself?
Not vegan, pescatarian.
Yeah.
But yeah,
dabble.
I'm from Maryland.
You
I can't give up
incorporate,
seafood. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, can I get a crab leg? Like,
Yeah, crab cakes are amazing.
Yes.
I've been down by that wharf and I had the crab cakes down there.
Yes, they're good. So I don't know. I'm thinking about maybe doing something like that.
Yeah, make it look good too.
Yeah.
Like I think because I do a lot of like mixes of food, but I'm like, this
Not
doesn't.
It doesn't look good. Yeah, my food is good. It doesn't look pretty.
Yeah, I was like late night Instagram. I'm just gonna enjoy it. Because like yesterday, I cooked,
I'm gonna tweet this.
Yeah,
That's what I pick.
like a cauliflower stirred fried rice.
Yeah.
And I was telling my friend, he's like, yeah, that doesn't sound appetizing at all. And I'm like, it's good. And if I show it to you, it probably looks good to you too. It's like, make sure it just looks presentable to bring people onto the other
My
side.
presentation is good. I need to work on plating.
Yeah.
Like that is the thing. Like
just pick a flower
angling,
from
plating, like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Little garnish on the
Yeah,
side.
little
Yeah,
garnish.
you need to have it tilted a little bit,
Right,
the lighting
right.
hitting it.
Well, I'm excited for that because we do have so many recipes, I think, in the Black community and different regions of the Black community too, where we don't necessarily know all the substitutes. So it's good that we have people on Instagram and different social
Right.
media giving us that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people have tried it out. They're like, "Oh, I tried this out because of you." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
Look at me changing the world a
Cause,
little
yeah,
bit."
'cause I feel like so much of the resources, like with vegan and different like paleo, different diets, they're just not really aimed at us. They're just
Right.
like, they're aimed and they look more like the white community. So
Yeah.
people we're not receiving those messages.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's so good for us to kind of spread that positivity too, or
Right.
different ways that you guys have options.
You're right, because you don't see a Whole Foods in the hood.
Yeah.
Just like you don't, like, and that's sad. Maybe I'll.
Yeah. We're gonna have a Whole Foods in the Hood program.
program.
You tell us where you need one, we're gonna get you one.
Coming to a city near you.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us. This
Thank
has
you,
been
guys.
amazing.
Yes.
We are so looking forward to Famously Fit. So we have to have you back on here after it's all done, and we'll talk some more about it.
Yes. I gotta have you guys on. You guys gotta come on for sure.
Hey, we are ready.
Yes.
Yeah, Shaka is
Always
ready with his
ready.
thirst traps.
Yeah,
for
yeah, no,
Hey.
I see the Instagram.
Yeah, okay.
Instagram.
See? It's not just me. It's not just
Your
me.
profile picture is a thirst trap.
I call it a knowledge well, not a thirst trap. A knowledge well.
Y'all should
So-
see. Was that a story or was it a post where you had the towel? Like,
Yes!
Or with the
this was
plant?
recently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that a story?
The
or was-
infrared light. It was
Yeah.
about infrared light and LEDs. Yeah.
Yeah.
People need to know. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for joining us. Again, my name is Shaka Smith. On that note, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at Shaka Strong. Mr. Ned, where can we find
Catch
you?
those thirst traps coming in. You can find me on everything at the TK Trinidad.
And Miss Cierra Brooks, where can they find you?
Yes, you can find me at official Cierra Brooks.
Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Ciao.
From executives Kevin Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire
thank you for
BHL
tuning
staff,
in, and
we
then
would
we'll
like to
say
thank you for
Hollywood
supporting Black
Redefined.
Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.